Sci-Fi Podcast.
Oh, mate. Hello, we're back after 4 weeks of fucking off around the universe and dealing with life's problems and everything else. And we're back, and I'd like to present to you from Portsmouth, Michael Ball, aka Copeland. What a superb YouTube channel. Welcome to the podcast.
Hello, Martin. Thank you. And obviously, we like to mention By the Gods of Science Fiction, Martin's YouTube channel, which is also equally awesome, formerly Martin's Sci-Fi Appeal. Go there for many videos regarding all sorts of classic shows, opinions, funny sketches, all sorts of things you've done over the years, which is really cool. And I'm going to just say, as we begin, the picture's very fuzzy on Martin's side, so hopefully the zoom will sort himself out now and he won't look like a fuzzy kind of like Cyberman.
Well, I say myself very clearly, actually.
Well, yeah, I do myself my end. So am I clear to you?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm recording my. Actually, you're better now. But I'm recording my end, so it's probably my one. I don't. It doesn't matter. Anyway, so listen, we have seen a lot of shows over the last 3 or 4 weeks.
Thanks so much.
We have. So we're doing the news and reviews this side, and then we're going to do the Amiga Man classic
news and reviews.
Oh god, new jingle are coming up. I think after all that, news and reviews. So since we've been away, I think we had seen the first episodes of Strange New Worlds. We hadn't seen Obi-Wan. We hadn't seen the Orville. Season 3. I've seen For All Mankind episode season 3 episode 1 as well. I saw that yesterday. That's back. Yesterday I saw it. Episode 1's really good. So I will tell you about that after the show and then get you to see that.
Yeah. Well, you never told me about that.
I only saw it. I suddenly thought about it yesterday and I watched it. It was really good. I enjoyed it.
Well, you never told me about that. I'm off.
I'm upset my co-host now. That's it, you see. This is it. We've had a tip over the last 4 weeks, so we haven't been talking. No, we're not having a tip. We're fine. Are you going to say
I'm
that?
not watching it. 10 weeks. I can't watch.
Yeah, that's fine. I know you did that with the Expanse and stuff. No, we've been so busy with our personal lives. We've had all sorts of things going on, which is just why we've been so busy. So we are back. We might occasionally be off the odd week or two, a bit less. Every week, not necessarily, but we'll be around. We're still here. The Solo One Sci-Fi podcast has not gone. So I suppose the biggest question, I think we should start off with this one so far, because I've seen episodes 1 to 4. Episode 5 was released today, and I've not seen episode 5. You might have seen it already.
Right, I wanted to ask you a question about.
Okay, go. Go for it.
Right, because I thought it came out on Friday's Obi-Wan.
No, Wednesdays.
Because I used to have, I'm sat here waiting till Fridays to watch it. And then I'm seeing reviews on a Wednesday. I thought Disney won't release it till.
No, I think episode 1 and 2 were released on the Friday. I think it was the 27th of May. And then every subsequent Wednesday is the next episode. So they released episode 5. I checked my copy today, and the beginning is a really quite an interesting flashback, and that's all I've seen. That's all I'm saying. There's a flashback at the beginning of episode 5, which looked really interesting, and that's when I hit stop. So I watched about 10 seconds of it, and that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying anything else, but it was interesting. Let's put it that way. What do you think of it? Oh, I've dreaded this one.
I don't know. Now, my mate, he watched it, and he was saying to me he wasn't connecting with it.
I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence with it myself.
I don't hate it.
No, I don't hate it either.
I don't dislike it.
No, it's not. There's something missing.
After all the promotion, I thought it.
I thought it'd be grander. I thought it'd be bigger, and I thought it. You see, when you watch The Mandalorian, and I'm sorry, but it feels grander. It just feels more like a proper movie. This is a good series in some elements. I like the idea. I mean, obviously, Obi-Wan's not been on Tatooine much of the season, which is good, because people are going to be moaning about that. The idea of focusing on Leia rather than Luke was a clever idea, because we know a lot less about younger Leia than we do about younger Luke, obviously with
I agree with that.
Aunt Beru and Uncle Owen. So that was clever. And I also think the actress is pretty good in the role as young Leia as well. But there is something about it which isn't quite sitting right for me. Now, a good example was last week where in the end we saw that Obi-Wan looked like he was going to get killed with Leia, and then these two speeders came in, and of course it was clever because it's almost like this is before the rebellion starts. It was really early days of a backlash for the Empire. First of all, the CGI of the speeders was terrible. It looked really shite, which is unusual because normally the special effects, not that it's integral, but it is, Star Wars is quite a high bar, and it just didn't look good.
I agree. Oh yeah, I agree. Yeah.
But I don't know what it's something. What I think is what we should do is this. We can't really properly review it until we've seen the last 2 episodes, and then it's like we've seen.
Well, they've refilmed the ending. I know what happens at the end.
They refilmed the ending. You're joking?
Apparently so. Yeah.
Oh, that's it. Like Star Trek Generations. Yeah, go on. What have you heard? Go on. Yeah. Go on.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler!
Alert. Go on.
Apparently, some ending release. And where this ends up is we've had like stage 1 of Vader fight.
Yeah, I mean, obviously got another fight.
And then we're not going to see big fights till episode 6. And
yeah, that's obvious.
When he's fighting him, Vader's just hammering him, and then Qui-Gon appears. Apparently.
Oh well,
his voice.
I'd assume so. Now, whether we, as you say, I'm hoping it's not going to be a voice like we got from Rise of Skywalker.
I don't know how they're doing it, but apparently, because he's lost his faith as Obi-Wan.
Yeah, he needs Qui-Gon to
10 years.
He's lost it all, isn't he?
But he starts becoming
lost his mojo.
And he absolutely slaughters Vader.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a big fight. Slaughters Vader. He escapes. That Reaver's figured out what he's guarded. I don't know what is meant to have happened. She turns up on Tatooine to kill young Luke Skywalker. She's got a red lightsaber through his throat, but she don't do it. She walks away. There's something going on.
Right.
And she goes back to Vader, and she says she's killed him, and he kills her. And that is what it's meant to be happen. Now,
okay.
There's been reshoots, and there's rumours of a Reva TV series now. Now this is well known, so I'm not giving a lot of it. This ending's been leaked. Now, whether this is true or not, I do not know.
But is she strong enough? Is she strong enough a character for her own show?
Well, that's what I thought.
I don't think she's very strong.
I found her total.
Hang on, the internet's breaking up.
So why this obsession? This obsession with Obi-Wan Kenobi is not making. I know she's one of them kids in the book, but she's obsessed in trying to get Obi-Wan and drawing him out. It's like I don't. There's a lot here that don't make sense. Do you know what I mean? It's just this focus on her character. Now, a lot of people have been character don't like her character. I have to say, and I'm not getting all political. I just don't like her character. Hello.
All right, hang on. Zoom has dropped. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, I can.
Sorry.
Hear you.
That's fine. It dropped out, so it should. I assume that the recording will pause and it will come back. So I apologise.
Yeah, no, it's recording. It's saying
that's fine. Right, brilliant. So, Karen, so you said about Reva's character. Say about the last bit about Reva's character again.
I'd like to her obsession with Obi-Wan Kenobi and her trying to be like proving a point all the time. It's getting on my nerves.
Yeah, it's dragged out a bit. I don't know. The thing is, you see, I mean, I think that I might like this series more once it's finished, and it's the expectation factor. I don't know. It's very strange. I mean, episode 5 is 40 minutes long again, so the next it's a bit short. Some episodes, and like
you see, when we got to like the first 2 episodes, I was sort of sat on the fence. She was becoming annoying.
Yeah.
You know? And he's feeling sorry for himself. I get that. I like that quality. and he's working in that place, and and he's just on his own. And I can understand 10 years is stuck on that dump. You're gonna become like that.
Yeah.
And I like the thing where he's trying to get his mojo back. And
I thought that was quite clever. And he's showing signs of it in
I like
episode 3.
all that, because that makes him, you can relate to him, he's human.
Yeah, exactly. He's upset and he's trying to get himself back together again. That makes sense.
So, but then you've got her jumping about everywhere and carrying on, always being like, always wanting to please Vader. And I want to know why she's like this. But the others keep saying she's sort of, there's something not right with her, so she got forces of good inside battling with her. Now,
I've heard that the good's going to come back with her.
Well, I hope it does, and maybe that's when you get like a big...
And she becomes like a Jedi or something. Yeah, I can see that
that'd be interesting. I don't want Vader to kill her, because that's too...
No, it's too much. Yeah, it's too much. Now, absolutely.
I love the Inquisitorius from the the Rebels series, the Inquisitors. I think they're great. I love the Brother Inquisitor.
I'm not sure about the live action versions of them though.
Yeah, but
oh god, this internet's really playing up. Sorry, mate. Give me a second. Oh god, internet keeps freezing. All right, we're recording at the moment, but I think Martin might have gone again, so he might be back in a second. If you can hear me, Martin, I'll let you know when I can hear you. Okay, that's fine.
Do you want to make a fresh start? Do you want to start again?
Well, let's try one more time. If it plays up one more time, then we'll stop it and then we'll record again from this. Let's give it one more chance. Carry on what you're saying. Sorry.
Well, the first 2 episodes, they were sort of in and out with it. There were no spectacularness with it. Do you know what I mean? And then we got to episode 3 and we saw the thing with Vader in the Bacta tank. You know, with the eyes when he senses him. I loved all that. I thought, this is going to be it next week. Yeah. This is going to be it. And it were rather disappointing when they met each other.
Yeah, it wasn't as grand as I thought it was going to be, but I think that's partly because Obi-Wan is kind of, at the moment, he's not himself. Now, the last episode we saw, he was starting to get his powers back. He stopped the water flooding in the base. He was deflecting bolts with his lightsaber and hitting them back towards the stormtroopers. So I think that they're just trying to show that he's so isolated for 10 years, he couldn't use the Force. And I guess it's something where if you don't practice, you lose the ability to do it, which is interesting because that's never been shown before. I assume that once you've learned how to use the Force, you always know how to use it. And it sounds like something...
Yeah, but Luke Skywalker switched it off, didn't he?
Did he? How did Luke Skywalker switch it off?
Well, he didn't use it for years. You remember? Well,
you're right. You're right.
Well,
you know this?
He didn't have a Bluetooth connection.
Yeah. Well, talking of Bluetooth, well, not Bluetooth, but Zoom is now saying we've got 10 minutes worth recording of this shitty connection today. So in a minute, we'll pause and continue. So let's just quickly sum up. So at the moment, I'm going to give the show out of 10. I think I'm going to give it a 6.5. Watching episodes 1 to 4 so far. How about yourself?
I'm going to give it a 6, but maybe because we're moving into the last 2 episodes now. Right. I might not watch it this week. I might wait till...
wait and watch the last 2 together. That might be a good... I can't wait myself because I just can't. So I'll watch episode 5 tonight. But as you said, I know that sometimes it might be... This is another thing that people are saying. It might have been better if they just released the whole season and you just literally binged it in one go. Literally could have a whole...
I think,
It might have worked better rather than not getting enough and then...
do you think they've cheaped out on it as well?
Cheaped out on it?
Yeah, it doesn't seem... I don't know. I agree with the...
I think a lot of the money went to Ewan McGregor's paycheck and Hayden Christensen as well.
Yeah.
I think that part of the factor is to get them back on a TV show when they're both been a movie as big as the prequels.
Yeah.
It might have ate up a bit on the budget, which is why, like I said, some of the ship scenes, some of the scenes do look a bit TV-ish, a bit cheapish. And you don't get that with The Mandalorian. To my perspective, it just doesn't feel... It's good. It's all right. It's okay. But, it could be that they're saving all their money for episode 5 and 6 or episode 6.
It could be because
it could be all on the last episode. Do you know what I mean? It might be when it's all sort of going
all
on.
the money's going to go into the final battle between him and Vader.
Yeah, that's what I reckon as well. So it could still be saved. And I'm still glad they've made it, but I just thought it'd be a bit kind of more epic. And it just feels a bit more kind of generic. I don't know. It's quite hard to put into words. But yeah, I mean, now talking to Star Wars, you and I obviously have seen the Andor trailer, the first trailer for that. What did you think of that?
I can't be bothered.
You can't be bothered, really? Okay, I thought it looked quite good. You're not maybe underwhelmed or what?
I thought the trailer looked all right, but it didn't really offer anything, did it?
Yeah.
I mean, that's my opinion. Look, any chance to get a look at the Star Wars universe?
Yeah.
Like the bigger picture, I'm interested.
Right.
About how people live under the Empire and all that. It's very good, but we know what happens to it.
He dies.
Yeah, we know what happens to Obi-Wan as well, don't we? So.
Well, that's the problem with prequels, you see, and even with Pike on Star Trek: Strange New Worlds. So let's quickly.
I think Andor should be left with Rogue One and left at that.
Yeah, I don't know why they did a prequel.
Rogue One's probably one of the best Star Wars movies.
Well, that's why they're doing it. I mean, I consider it, one of the best. I watched a bit of it today, actually, just to get my...
superb.
And it's just such a solid film.
Yeah,
all brilliant. The characters, and it's really dark and it's really tragic, but it's really integral to the story. My God, they really did a good one with Rogue One, didn't they? I mean, it was so good. So good. And I'm so glad they made it. I love it.
Well, there's 20 series in production.
Well, is it 20, surely?
Well, no, there's planned 20 series in production over there.
Well, I mean, I know that they're filming Ahsoka at the moment.
Yeah.
They are going to be filming a second season of Andor. They are probably going to be doing a second season of Obi-Wan now, because apparently it's already started off really well with the ratings on the reviews and everything. Which, I don't know. And The Mandalorian is coming back next February. So, I do like all this content, but I don't know. Let's look.
Well, we're getting Han Solo series.
Yeah, we get a Solo series as well.
Yeah, we're getting Solo.
I know
that's coming in.
Oh, I didn't know that. I know we're supposed to be getting a Lando series, but that's gone.
I'd like a Lando series. Definitely.
Well, that's supposed to be coming.
Yeah.
But I mean, I thought in a couple of weeks' time, once Obi-Wan's finished, we'll do a proper review of each.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And then we can sort of like finish it off and say, well, this is what we thought of the season. This is what we thought would happen. This is the way it went. And there are pros and cons. It's not all cons. We're not one of these channels where
Sat on the fence. I'm like you, buddy.
I'm on the fence.
Sat on the fence.
Yeah, exactly. So let's quickly change then to Strange New Worlds. I've now seen 6 episodes.
Superb.
Isn't it good? Isn't it? Haven't they done well? Oh my gosh.
Are
you pleased?
Fucking am. Yeah, I'm watching Star Trek, buddy. I'm watching Star Trek. Live long and fucking prosper.
No, it's really good. It's really good. Every episode. But then the bloody kid plugged into the mainframe at the end.
And he couldn't do a damn thing about it.
No.
The Prime Directive.
Well, why have they done it so solid, this series? What is it that made this? The thing is, right, Discovery has started production this week for season 5. And do you know what they'll do? They'll do another huge, big, multi-season arc of something like the planet's all turning to rubber or something. What they should do, if they don't want to do standalone episodes, which I think they could do, I'd like to see a season of Discovery with standalone episodes in the 32nd century. It could be really interesting. They won't do though.
I will slightly come out in Discovery's defence, and this is like, and trust me, I'd rather put it out the toilet. The one-off episode.
Yeah, they're really good. Do you know what? At this point, I've had enough of this Zoom thing. Let's finish off now. We're going to literally come back in the second once we're reconnected, Martin, because I can't hear you and it's really shy. So we'll continue with Star Trek Strange New Worlds discussion in a minute. Right, sorry about that, everybody. We're now back reconnected. We resettled everything, and hopefully we'll have smoother running for part 2 of the show. So obviously we just talked about the most recent episode with Strange New Worlds and that poor little lad at the end. So other episodes from the season so far. Any particular favourites that you've enjoyed the most, or
All of it. I think last week's was one of the best episodes I've seen in a long time. Especially, it was just the moral consequences.
Very, very pure Star Trek episode.
Yeah, and I also liked the Gone one.
Yeah, that was quite a good one. The one with the there was an episode with DS9 where they did a similar episode where they were hiding in a nebula, and it was called like a submarine thing with the sonar.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
A few, haven't there?
I've seen that at least. I've seen that before, and it worked very well.
It's been done in a few sci-fi series.
Stargate as well.
In the nebula where they're hiding out, and it's like submarine warfare with one torpedo. But all of it so far, I have not had a bad word to say about this at all.
Really good.
To be honest, it's like I like his movements. I like how he acts. Yeah. And he portrays the captain. He really plays it, and I love the chemistry with the crew.
Yeah, it does work very well. I like all the characters as well. I mean, obviously we've got Ortegas, we've got Laan Anunian Singh, we've got Chapel, we've obviously got Spock, we've got Pike, we've got Number One, and we've got Hema. Is it Hema?
Dr. Mabenga.
Dr. Mabenga, who's interesting, and I
like it.
I like him too. And obviously, at some point, he's going to get demoted because he's not the chief medical officer in the Kirk era. Really, really good.
Well, what's happened to Kirk's brother? He only popped up for about 10 seconds.
He was in the last episode. No, he was in the last episode.
Oh, was he?
Very briefly. Right. Very briefly.
Right.
And I don't know what's happening with him. But I just wish there's more episodes because we've only got 3 left.
Do you know what I like? I like when he has a dinner party and he has them all in his quarters.
Very informal. It's very informal.
Very Cisco.
Very Cisco. Yeah. I remember the episode with with Bashir, and he's going on about I don't like beets, and he said beets are a very misunderstood vegetable, and that's sort of a slightly kind of relaxed
He's the man who cares about his crew.
He's so different from Picard, isn't he? Back in the Next Generation era.
I mean, like. My mate said to me, he said, who would you serve under Pike or Kirk? I'd serve under Pike. Kirk could get you killed, man.
Yeah, I think Pike would be the better captain. Actually, the best of all the captains we've had
really
in
cares
the series.
About
do you think that Pike is the best captain out of all the Star Trek series of films to serve under, if you had the choice?
I think
Pike and Janeway Cisco's pretty good.
I have to say, Cisco's my favourite.
Cisco's pretty good,
But I have to say, he's moving up the ranks rather fast.
And I love his hair. The hair's fantastic.
Oh, have you seen the memes? Anson Mount's loving it. He left some on Facebook the other day because they're all sending him pictures. I mean, that hairstyle is just getting perfect.
It's getting worse every episode, isn't it? I mean, he was all right in the Discovery season 2, but now it's getting really out there. I don't care.
It's
great fun, and it's just worked so well because you got to give the people their due because people are saying that Star Trek works better like this on a starship episodes, a story, and for the most part they've done it.
Well, the beauty of this, the genius of this, the story arc's already set out. We know where it concludes.
Yeah, with Pike ending up in the chair.
So, obviously we're going to get the episode, not in this series, but we're going to get the episode where he can change his destiny. But the price will be so high, he won't be able to do it.
No, unless they go into an alternate timeline, and it follows.
Yes, that's what I mean. And he's going to get that opportunity a bit to change his future, but it being the death of his ship or it'll be something. You know what I mean? And he won't be able to do it, and then he's back on course for his destiny. I'm fascinated by Number One. God, have we seen how tall she is?
Yeah.
She must be. She must be 6 foot.
I've not noticed how tall she is, actually. She's really tall.
She was Mystique in the original X-Men films there.
Oh.
That's her. She's been quite a big Hollywood star back in early 2000s.
I didn't know that. That's interesting. I didn't know that she was particularly tall, actually, but there we go.
Yeah, unless I really do like her character because
I like all the characters. All the characters are really good.
In the pilot episode, she was just number one. Now we know she's called Una. She's an alien.
Una, yeah. She's another alien. Yeah. I suppose. So, what is your? If I had a least favorite character at the moment, I think the character I have least affinity with at the moment is probably La'an. She's a bit cold. She's a bit. I don't know.
But is she like a superhuman or something?
Well, yeah, she's got some of the Khan DNA in her, hasn't she? Maybe
Yeah. You know.
But I still don't.
Superior breeding breeds superior ambition. Isn't that the saying?
That's exactly. Enhanced ambition, the same as enhanced physical abilities. It's also, as you say, it's ambition.
Yeah.
So really good series. Can't wait to see what they do next. So let's quickly ask you about.
I like what they've done with Spock, and
Ethan Peck's great. Ethan Peck's great. The Amok Time music scene in episode 5, I think, was hilarious.
Yes.
And it was great. I'm really surprised how good it is.
Fantastic little tributes in there, isn't there? Little moments.
What do you think of What do you think of the opening titles, which sound like the original series, but it's got its slightly different kind of tint to it?
Well, I like that big, colourful beginning. You know that the Enterprise, and then we get the
planets and the sun.
Yeah, I like it. I love it. It reminds me of Voyager, but also
Voyager.
The original.
Yeah. It's a mix of Voyager, original series.
Works. Why couldn't they do a Discovery like this when it started?
I don't know. But Discovery's still being made. I mean, from what I understand, this season. I mean, season 5 is going to be 10 episodes, the same as Strange New Worlds. And then nobody's mentioned yet that this is going to be the last season. It could go on for another year, for we know. And it's kind of like, I don't know. I think that Discovery, once it's all done and I watch it again properly the whole way through a second time, I think it's definitely a show which I will appreciate more the second time around.
I've got a series I really want you to watch, and trust me.
What's that?
For the shock value of this series in human nature, you're going to be after what I saw in the opening 3 episodes, The Boys.
Oh, everyone's mentioning The Boys. And Stranger, all I ever hear about is The Boys and Stranger Things.
After what I saw in the first episode, the new season, there's the guy that could shrink.
Okay, yes, you do.
This is the opening episode, right? They're in this sex club, right, somewhere, right?
Right, as you do.
He shrinks down, right? Right, he shrinks right like Ant-Man, right? Right, and he jumps up. I can't even say that. He jumps into you.
He goes where a few men have gone before, kind of thing.
Well, he jumps into where with a wee, and you've seen him walking about inside, and he enlarges himself. And it accidentally, because he's coked off his head, he enlarges himself. Person just blows up. and this is the opening.
This is a comedy. This is a comedy.
Well, I'm gonna leave that to you.
Boys, all right. I have heard about
now.
The Boys.
The beauty is this: it's only episode. I shouldn't have watched the 3 hours. I did. I'm leaving the next. There's only 8 episodes a season because they're so expensive to make.
That's what they're going to do.
Carl Urban is.
I know he's in it. Yeah, I know. I heard of he's in it.
You have got to start.
Yeah, I know if you recommend it. Yeah, but what is it actually the story about? What is it?
No, what it is this? It's set in sort of like our world, but imagine superheroes with no moral compass. They just go around wrecking it, and they're backed by a dodgy corporation. It's all about getting hits on social media and all this. And they've got an evil Superman. He's deranged in head, and they've got super teams.
It sounds quite good. I quite like this idea.
They call them soaps. And Carl Urban's character, he wants to kill the fucking lot of them. Right. And you've got to watch this.
All right. No, okay. But also, if you do that, then eventually you've got to watch some more of The Walking Dead, because I'm up to near the end of season 8 now, and it is absolutely. It's really, really good series. It's really solid. It's like Survivors with zombies, and it's because I love the British Survivors, especially the 70s version, and it had 3 seasons, and of course it really was about survival. And this is basically the same thing, but unfortunately when you die in this universe, you come back to life, and obviously that's the zombie. It's just really well written. It's well acted. It's tense. There's a character on it called Negan who is absolutely fantastic.
Oh, that's him. I've seen him. That's him with baseball bat, isn't it?
Yeah, so you obviously know he's fantastic, and I can't recommend it enough. If you get the chance, sit down. I know it's a lot of episodes, but I'm slowly trying to get through them all, and I'm not rushing it, and I'm blown away. It's so good. It's such a good series. I love it. It's the best series I've seen, apart from Strange New Worlds this year, although it's obviously not brand new this season.
Now, I have to say, what did you think of the first 2 episodes of The Orville?
You know what? I liked it.
Yep.
But it's different from season 2 had the right balance for me, at least. Season 1 at the beginning was too comedic, and it was almost like a proper sitcom.
They rolled that back,
and then they got it. Yeah. Then they balanced it out with the second half of season 1 to like Star Trek, but more of a comedy Star Trek, but still great sci-fi stories. Season 2 was absolutely fantastic, as we both know. Season 3 so far, it is now just a pure kind of copy of the Star Trek series. There's no comedy hardly at all. It's quite dark. And it's too early to tell. But I'd say so far, I've not been into season 3 half as much as season 2.
I have. I think for me, I think they've got it right.
Yeah, I don't know. I need to see it again. I think there's been so much on recently with all the new Star Trek, all the new Star Wars. In some ways, I like to one show a week to focus on.
I have to say, Strange New Worlds does stand equal to it.
Oh yeah, I would agree entirely with that.
I thought that because I watched them both together. I watched.
They're released on the same day, Thursdays.
So I watched them both. Yeah, and it was interesting comparing. Now, when they went into that Nebula thing last week, I got Enterprise going into the Expanse sort of vibe.
Yeah.
Do you remember that episode when they go to the Expanse?
The Expanse in season 3, yes.
And you say it reminded me so much of that. But Orville has to be very careful. They cannot just become another Star Trek series.
Yeah, but that's what I'm thinking.
They have their own identity.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I'm worried that they're starting to lose their identity and they're just being a blatant Star Trek ripoff, which they weren't in season 2. Season 2 was a very clever mix, and that's my only concern. Because I love the Orville, I really do. But I just feel that season 3 so far, it's lost that identity it made in season 2. For me now, it feels like a blatant ripoff.
I really thought you'd be buzzing on this. Honestly, I really thought. I'm surprised actually.
Yeah, well, I like it, but I don't know why. I've not got. I think episode 3 I saw a trailer for it. So episode 3 looks good. Let me give it a chance. I'm going to give it.
Like you said, we're only 3, and it has been
2 episodes.
It's been about 3 years.
And I've lost my connection because it's been a long time since season 2. Yeah. So I think I think that for me at least, one of the problems is it's been just a bit too long a gap since the end of season 2. It's a long time ago. It was before COVID came down.
I am worried. I don't want it turning into a Star Trek rip-off.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't want to lose its uniqueness.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying so far, which I'm worried about. That's my issue.
But season 2, it didn't start off brilliantly, did it? And then suddenly...
You're right. Season 2, you're right. Season 2, the first 1 or 2 episodes were really one of the least...
That's what I mean.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, I agree with that.
And then
it suddenly changed.
Bang! You couldn't get enough of it.
And every episode was like a 10 out of 10 or 9.5 out of 10. So, yeah, I agree. So let's give it a chance. I'm not slagging it off just yet, but from first impressions, it's not quite as I felt for season 2. But as you say, the beginning of season 2 was also a bit lackluster, and then suddenly just really clicked into place. So let's see how it goes. It's only, we've got 10 episodes, I think it is, for season 3. So let's give it a chance. So I think that before we go into our focus of the week, Doctor Who, David Tennant is filming, and the actor who was in Doogie Howser, what's his name?
Oh, I know.
Neil Patrick Harris. And do you know who he is? Do you know which character?
The Celestial
Toy Maker. Yeah, I knew you were going to say that. I knew you didn't know what I was going to say. Good luck. I like Neil Patrick. He was in the Matrix 4 as well, which is only a recent thing. So they've obviously, they've got a lot more money. If Doctor Who has got someone like that on board,
he's quite even in Starship Troopers and all that.
Yes, he was. He was one of the what's it? The Psycorps, what are they called?
Yeah, and he was in that. I've only seen a few. I've caught a few episodes. He was in that sitcom that were a massive.
Doogie Howser, MD.
No, the other one, How I Met Your Parents.
I never saw it. He was also in Quantum Leap. He appeared in an episode of Quantum Leap as well. Yeah, he was. He was a guy in the 50s who was like a teenager racing cars and stuff like that. And Sam it was like racing with him, and he was like this school kind of bully thing. I think it was in season 5. It might be the episode which featured one of the episodes with the Evil Leaper. But it was very good. So I really do like that. I think it's really good.
So apparently Quantum Leap, I did see some pictures of the new cast.
Yeah,
it's not gone down well. It's not gone down well on the internet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is, you can't judge it till it starts.
No, well, it's the same arguments of the cast. But apparently, I don't think Sam Beckett's going to be in it.
So what? So let me ask, what is it with the issue with the cast that's not going down well?
Well, I don't want to say on air.
Is it going to be? Do you know what? You don't need to say anymore.
There was a photograph of the cast, and
is it a box ticking?
It's a very. How do you say it?
Box ticking.
Yeah, plenty of that. I mean, I'm like you. I don't bother with that. If it's any good, I'll watch it. If it's terrible, it goes down the toilet.
Yeah, well, like I said,
I'm hoping. I was hoping the premise was that Project Star Ripple or Quantum Leap or whatever. They've 30 years technology's advanced. They start looking for Sam Beckett, and I think that would have made a good goal to go for.
Have you heard? And I take it you've heard about the new Stargate series.
I heard that they put it
I'm
on
joking.
pause.
I'm joking. I was like, I didn't say what? No, nothing. Absolutely
Amazon.
nothing.
Apparently, Amazon are going ahead with it.
I know, but they've got to get it going.
Well, that's what I thought. They've got all the Bond movies on, and you can watch them.
They've got to get a Stargate series going.
No,
so it's ridiculous.
why are they sat back on this?
I don't know. I mean, if they're making like 3 or 4 live-action Star Trek and live-action Star Wars series per year, we just want one. I just want one Stargate series which continues from SG-1 or Atlantis, and it's the continuation in the 21st century of the Stargate project. And
next Wednesday, I've been invited to a Paramount Day. They're having something to. I've been invited to a launch of the Paramount Cable Network.
Oh, okay. Sounds good.
Because
that starts in a couple of weeks over here, doesn't it? Paramount Plus.
down at Piccadilly Centre.
22nd, next week. 22nd.
Well, somebody sent me a free ticket, and you can only go for an hour. But I think they're going to have Discovery set there. So, but I've got a free ticket.
Oh, that'd be good.
It's only for an hour. There'll be loads going.
Yeah, but it might be worth checking out, mightn't it? Because
I'll film that for YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah, all right. I'll check that out. Definitely. Yeah. I mean, we'll certainly feature that. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the news. Anything else?
I don't think there's
lots. I know we've done things this way around, but we have so much to talk about. So let's jump into our focus of the week if you're ready. Is that all right with you?
Focus of the week.
Here we go.
It's the Solar Sci-Fi Focus of the Week.
All right, so this is an episode. Well, it's not an episode. This is a film which came out in about 1973, I think it was. It featured the late great Charlton Heston. Actually, it was 1971, and it was directed by Boris Siegel, who basically the character is a survivor of a pandemic, i.e., after what we've all been through. It was written by John William Corrington and Joyce Corrington, based on the 1954 novel I Am Legend by Richard Matheson. The film's producer, Walter Seltzer, went on to work with Heston again in dystopian science fiction film Soylent Green, which we both love. The Omega Man is the second adaptation of Matheson's novel The First Was the Last Man on Earth, which I've seen with Vincent Price. And the third adaptation is I Am Legend with Will Smith. Apparently, I Am Legend 2, by the way, is in the pipeline to be made as well with Will Smith again. So obviously, it says that the plot is in March 1975, a Sino-Soviet border conflict escalates to full-scale war, where biological warfare destroys most of the human race. U.S. Army Colonel Robert Neville, MD, is a scientist based in LA, and he begins to succumb to the plague, but he injects himself with an experimental vaccine, rendering him immune. And the story really follows with him in LA, really in his house, where he just wants to stay. But there are survivors of the plague who basically They are very, very sensitive to light. They also have issues with regard to technology, and they want Neville and his technology out of the city. And it's about him wanting to get rid of them and stop, obviously, the mutations from happening to the few survivors that he comes across in the film. So now my mum got me into this film. She does not a sci-fi film, a fan particularly, but she was always a big fan of Charlton Heston, which is probably why I saw the Soylent Green as well and Planet of the Apes. Now I've liked Charlton Heston in every single film I've seen, and I saw this film with the opening title when he's driving around LA. It's completely quiet. It's got his music on, and he's in this red convertible, and then he stops and he gets his machine gun out and he just shoots the gun at somebody at a window. And I was hooked. I was completely hooked with the nature of this film, the way it was done. It was creepy. It was very, very, I don't know, it just pulls you straight in. And of course, Robert Neville with Heston's character is very, very likable and very, very kind of, you can really understand from his predicament that he's on his own. And then of course you see the survivors. What they call the survivors? There's a name for them. I can't remember the name. There's a name for them. Yeah, I know the mutants, but they're called something.
No, immune.
Yeah, whatever. There is a name. But
no,
anyway,
there's them that are immune to the actual plague.
Yeah. You have the
vampire blue skin, but they have one they called the Brotherhood.
Is it the Brotherhood? Like, something like that.
I think he was called the Father with sunglasses on.
I'm just trying to see what they're
like
called.
chalk skin or something.
But I think it was I don't know why, but the Brotherhood doesn't sound quite right. It was like the Brotherhood, and basically
it was like a religious order, basically.
It was like a sort of like as you say, it was like a cult kind of order.
Yeah.
And they're survivors, and they blame the technology, which is why they're mutated, and that's why they want to destroy all technology, and they will only use things like fire, not machinery. It's I think they might be called the Family. Is it the Family?
That's it. Yes,
that's
family.
what it is.
That's
I was trying to find it. I knew it was similar. That's what it was. It was the Family. And it's just a very, very compelling film. And of course, until about halfway through the film, we honestly think that Neville is the last person who's not succumbed to mutation from the disease out there. And of course, he does find a few people who have survived. And it's the story of him basically trying to get out of the city. And also he discovers that his blood, his immunity and his serum, he can transfer his blood to other people and cure them. And he cures the brother of the character that he befriends and the love interest in the film. I mean, tell me how you came across it.
I think I was about 14 or 13. My parents were out on Saturday night and they used to go out, and I was in the house.
Right.
And it came out, but on BBC about 11 o'clock.
Right.
They were on, and I'd never seen it before. And I watched it. I thought, well, this looks interesting. I remember, like I said, it was a guy in a red guard, a machine gun, dressed in military gear back in the 70s. And then there's this whole sort of thing of a mannequin in his house.
Yes, that's right. And he plays chess with him. He's playing chess with him.
And he gets dressed for dinner. He puts on a smoking jacket and all that. And he says
like Sunday I always dress for dinner kind of thing.
It's like he's got this routine to keep himself sane. Then in background, you're hearing explosions outside while he's eating his dinner. Because that's them trying to get in at him.
Yeah, they're trying to kill him off.
And all this, and then Geordie Day goes out and
he goes to cinema. He goes to cinema and watches Woodstock or something.
Goes round the shopping centres taking what he needs, and
yeah.
And then by nightfall, he's back in there in the jacket but he's going mad. He wants.
It's affecting him mentally.
Psychologically, when he's in cinema,
it's damaging him. It's
damaging people in there, and you're thinking what's going on, but then you see these things moving down. And then he finds her in that she pretends to be a mannequin, and he chases her, and a lot of weird music with it.
Oh, but it's really good. I love the music.
Yeah,
it makes it so much creepy. It really stands out.
Fantastic cinematography shots of the city, with like where it's all. I love like the looking up at the building. It's like this empty world, and he's in it, and he meets her and he wants to talk to her. It's quite a human drama, but it is Charlton Heston, and there's a lot of blood. And then we meet the family, and they're just fucking insane now.
They're insane. Yeah,
I will
Matthias.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and they've all got sunglasses.
And then they take their glasses off and they say, "Look at the pretty marks in our face," and they're all their eyes are white like the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah. And I were like,
I loved it.
By this time, when I was watching it, I was like, bloody hell, this is
really good. Yeah, this is really good. Yeah, absolutely.
And then it's about, and then we find out there's other people, and he's giving blood in them bottles, and there's living outside the city.
Yeah. And they want to start a new life, kind of thing. It's a bit like a hippie kind of thing. The guy that's
and then we get the standard Charlton Heston stuff where she becomes part of the family.
Yeah.
And he battles. He goes down there to save her, and they get them kids as well. Yeah. And he kills loads of them. I mean, he's just been chucked.
Yeah, he's just getting a machine gun. He's sort of blowing them up, isn't he?
But then, but again, we get the awesome ending.
He always has that, doesn't he, in his films? A lot of his films have that.
Religious overtone.
The thing is, right, we had in Planet of the Apes,
yeah,
damn it all to hell, and then you see the Statue of Liberty. Then we have Soylent Green, where he goes, Soylent Green is people! And he's dragged off on the stretcher. And this one, he ends up with a bloody harpoon in his chest. And it's like it's like in a religious kind of symbolism.
Yeah, well, that's
when he dies. He goes like that, like he's on the cross. He's like he saved humanity. It's like almost like he's a religious icon.
What it's all about.
I love it. I love all that. I love that.
The twist is blood's going into that water.
Yeah. Oh, you mean like the blood of Christ or something?
That's the this is a lot of people debate.
There's a lot of philosophy about this. Yeah, religious.
Because when he's on that like metal thing in that fountain, they all drink from that. And his blood is full of antibodies.
So you're saying
say all blood going into water.
And if there's not many sources of water, they might
contaminating the water.
Would they drink the water from there though? If they know that it's blood.
Well, yeah, but the water's they will drink water. And bacteria multiplies. It gets into ecosystem.
Okay,
so I assume that when they start.
I never saw that actually. That's symbolism.
Yeah, well, because I didn't realise when I first saw it, I didn't think it's significant.
Yeah,
and then,
I never picked that up.
I remember years later, HMV or Virgin, they had a big poster, Omega Man coming to VHS, and I'd not seen it in about 8 or 9 years by this time. Right. And they had quite a big release for it down at Virgin. You got free poster and that. And I bought the VHS, and I went home, and that's when I watched it. I realised the significance of that ending.
Yeah,
and how powerful.
That's right. I never picked up on that. That's really good.
No, it took me now. I didn't because I was only 13 or 14. I was more into machine gun and shooting, as you are.
As we all are at that age, yeah.
Charlton Heston, isn't it? Yeah, but then again, he did one of them films with a big momentous ending,
So, I mean, obviously there have been 3 versions. We did review the I Am Legend a long time ago on the podcast.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously there's 3 versions of this. I mean, do you have a favourite version of this particular story? Or...
Well, I think there's 4. I think there's the 60s version.
Oh, is there? I didn't know about that one.
Yeah, I think there's an earlier version, I
mean, obviously there's the Vincent Price one, which I thought was the 1950s.
I think that's the one, yeah.
So there's a Vincent Price one, which is, it's not called the Amiga Man. I think it is. Hang on, I've got it here. Last Man on Earth was the first version of it.
That's
right. Yeah. That's the one with Vincent Price, and it's all right, but it's my least favourite of the other 3.
Yeah,
I didn't mind it. It's okay. I don't dislike it. But it didn't stand out.
You're not going to remember it, are you? It's just
So if I were to ask you, which would you prefer, I Am Legend or the Amiga Man?
Amiga Man.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I like I Am Legend.
I don't know why. I love I Am Legend.
I do too. What puts me off with I Am Legend is the bad CGI survivors.
Well, the trouble is, I mean, it's the same premise. I liked it, but like you said, the CGI, they were all zombies, and it were all
Yeah, they were just more mindless, weren't they? They weren't kind of
they
like...
were just on rampage at night time, all running about Mersey. You know,
it wasn't the same as the family.
I wanted the family.
When I first watched it,
they were all intelligent.
When I first watched it, I thought that would be that, and it wasn't. They were much more primitive, almost like cavemen, kind of like monsters.
One of them like infected ones that were sort of intelligent, but he got blown up.
Well, you had a leader one who at the end kind of had some. Well, the thing
intelligence,
is, but also there's a different cut where Neville survives, and he kind of like the leader kind of looks at him, and basically he takes his partner, the affected one he's trying to cure, and he does kind of acknowledge him and then of course in that version he survives. In the final version, the proper version, he just starts headbutting the area where they're based in and just destroying the whole lab. And so he was actually more primitive. So I think that because the family and Matthias, they did have something. It would have been better if they could have maybe done something more as a foe rather than just monsters running around screaming with bad CGI.
That was the big.
That's what spoiled the film.
That's why I've never really jumped back to I Am Legend.
But
Omega Man, I would go back.
Oh yeah, I would too, because it's just so creepy and it's
the family are terrifying.
Yeah, they are.
They're terrifying.
Yeah,
and I can't understand why they wasted that opportunity. You know,
I know.
I mean, the family, when they're all sat around that table, judging him, you know, for being the last of the old world and all that. It's just awesome. And how she got infected as well.
It was real shock when she turns around and her hair's suddenly gone white.
Yeah, that scared me.
And it was clever because it was clever. Earlier on in the film, they said that sometimes people could change straight away, right in front of you, and other people could, like the brother, change very slowly, where he was becoming more and more like a member of the family. But I can't remember the character's name, but she just almost literally turns around and she's suddenly fully gone over. I loved it, and the music was great. Awesome. Really, really good film. So, I think we just about covered this. If you haven't seen it,
we've covered all the.
We've done all the main Charlton Heston. Yeah, we've done Planet of the Apes, and we've done. So that's the last of the Charlton Heston ones. But I mean, everything I've seen in this genre, because obviously some stuff he's in I'm not interested in. He's a great actor. He was a great actor, and he's really left a legacy. And like I said, for the three versions of The Last Man on Earth, then definitely I Am Legend is second, and The Omega Man is number one. So I think really, Martin, thank you very much for that. I think that's a really good film. Check it out. I'm sure you can find it online or purchase it or whatever. I think it's really worth your time giving it a watch.
Oh, definitely.
Right, Martin. Well, thank you very much. I think that's pretty much it for the show. Now, I'm not sure what we're doing next week. So what we could do... Go on. What are you going to say?
I'd like to do Escape from New York.
Oh, yeah, we could do that. I only saw it recently with the actors in The Thing. What's his name?
Russell.
Kurt Russell. Yeah, Kurt Russell.
Another
I'm up for that.
Has done these classic sci-fi movies.
Yeah, I mean,
like Charlton Heston.
Kurt Russell has been in a lot of. He's been in Stargate for crying out loud. In the Thing, and he's in some of the. He was in one of the Marvel films, one of the. Guardians of the Galaxy films. He was the dad.
He was, yes.
He's a great actor. I really like him actually. So, all right, Escape from New York. I'll have to look make a graphic for that. Martin, thank you so much for joining me, and it's really nice to be back. Like I said, because of things have been going on, we'll try and be back on a weekly basis. We can't always guarantee it because at the moment. But yeah, we're back, and thank you for bearing with us. And we'll catch you next week on the Solar One Sci-Fi podcast. Thank you very much, and live long and prosper.
Live long and prosper.
Boy, this Will Barini is great. You got another nickel, Sandy? Yeah, I'll pay this time, Steve. $50.
Please put down your weapon. You have 20 seconds to comply.
Did you see that? Yeah, Mr. Ed could be a bus conductor.
You now have 15 seconds to comply.
Thank you, Mr. Ed. How are we gonna get change?
Business must be pretty bad.